view, yoga definitely changes your body in terms of probably losing your weight. Maybe not on the weighing scale, but you definitely see your body tone up.
We've heard that yoga can change our lives in many ways. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing absolutely fine. Today, I'm with Tanvi, who was an HR for many renowned companies. In 2013, she got her calling through yoga. Since then, she's been training many individuals and changing lives. Hi, Tanvi. Welcome to my channel.
Hi, Sneha. Good evening.
How are you today?
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
Very, very well, and thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule, firstly.
That's no problem. Thank you so much.
Okay,
It's nice to
so
be
yes, thank you
here.
so much. Okay,
Yeah.
so I have to begin by starting to ask you, how were you introduced to yoga and how did this change your life?
Okay. So I think if I recollect it right, it was in 2005 when I first was introduced to yoga, and not through anybody, just by my own wanting to learn yoga. So way back when I was in a corporate job, I used to work with Citigroup. So my work schedule used to be from morning to evening, and then I also was pursuing my master's in human resource management. So that was the evening college. So, pretty much my day was packed with work and then going to the evening college. So that's when I happened to see this yoga studio at Vijayanagar in Bangalore. And it was one of the old practitioners who was running the studio. So I happened to go to him. And that's where I think my yoga journey began. Like, of course, it took me some time to get used to waking up early in the morning because the classes started around 5:45 in the morning. So I'm not an early morning person, but I said, okay, I need to put this in place. If I have to do my yoga, then there was no other time because of work and in college. So that's how it's been 21 years for today. I started my yoga journey, but of course, there was a break in between. But yes, I was introduced to yoga in 2005.
Wow, that's quite interesting. Okay, you talk about coming from the corporate industry and how did you decide you wanted to make this a full-time career?
Okay, so like I said, I worked in multiple. I was working in companies like Citigroup. Then I worked with Target. Then I worked with Walt Disney. So in the corporate world, it's a desk job. You're from morning to evening, working on in front of your computers. So I think there was a break in my career right after Walt Disney. I was trying to figure out as to what to do, and then in the meantime, while I was applying for my jobs in the other, organizations, I used to go for a yoga class very close to home. And my teacher was offering a teacher's exam and asked me if I would be interested. So I knew I'd never taken a break. I was working ever since I started at somewhere. And I always thought maybe even if I get a job, I'll take a month's break or 2 months break and then rejoin work. So that point in time when he asked me if I would be interested, he's starting this, new program called teachers training in his institute. I said, okay, fine, let me explore this. However, I didn't think that, teaching would be my calling, but I said, okay, I don't mind giving it a shot and getting the certification, which I wasn't sure whether I would be completing or what it was. But yes, it was a practice of 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. It was a very rigorous practice, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think there was a point in time I said, okay, I'm still figuring out, I still hadn't got a concrete job that I was looking at. So I said, okay, let me start teaching. So initially, I just started off with one batch, just one batch. It's very impossible to survive with just doing classes for one. Of course, it was going to be my bread and butter. So I had to work. So I chose this, and I just had one session a day. And for close to about a month and a half, it was just one session that I was running. And I was like thinking to myself, uh, you know, is it possible for me to continue in this line, or should I go back to the corporate world and look for a job? And that's when, word of mouth from one student, I got a contact of another student. And it so happened like my classes were getting packed from 5 in the morning to say 12 in the afternoon, and again from evening 4 to about 7 or 8. So then there was no looking back. I knew, like, people are liking when I'm teaching them, they're enjoying my classes, then why should I just give up on this so easily? And then there was no looking back after that. Yeah. So it was not like I decided to quit my job and then take up yoga, but it just all fell in place. I think it was my calling. So that's how it's been since 2013 to today that I have been into teaching now. Yes. So
Wow.
that's been my journey.
Wow, this is so interesting and inspiring, I must tell you. Okay, so tell me, how does yoga affect the mind, body, and soul, and especially now, mental health that we talk about so much?
Yes. Okay, to talk about how does it affect the body, or how does it benefit the body. So when you practice yoga, it helps you to improve on your flexibility. So it's not important that only flexible people do yoga, right? So there are people who could be looking for flexibility, who could be looking at building their strength. So it helps everybody to, over a period, achieve what they're looking at. So if you're looking at flexibility, it is not that in the first class or the first 1 month or 2 months you're going to get flexible. It is a long driven process. It takes years. You will see your body transform from one phase to the other. So in my view, yoga definitely changes your body in terms of probably losing your weight, maybe not on the weighing scale, but you definitely see your body tone up. Okay. And you spoke about mental health. So basically, what yoga does, it's a lot of people are under the misconception that the yoga does not take your heart rate higher, but definitely yoga takes your heart rate higher, which helps you to build your muscle, and you're working on your muscle strength. And when you're doing yoga, there is a release of a chemical from your brain, which definitely helps fight a lot of problems like your depressions. It's not like you get depression and then you start doing all this. I'm talking about you're practicing all this to keep yourself safe and keep yourself going. It's not like, you know, okay, I've had depression, I'm going to start this. It is not like a 1 week's process or like a 2 weeks process. It takes time. So for people who are practicing it constantly, they will definitely see they're a lot more happier, they're a lot more content in life. And for example, certain meditation in yoga, the breathing techniques in yoga, all helps to, it basically helps you to keep your mental health in place. So, for example, there's a breathing technique called Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam, which helps you to relax the nervous system in the body. So, basically, all these, the meditation, the pranayams, helps you to, be less anxious, helps you to keep yourself calm, and keep your mental health in place. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just like to add to this. I think yoga has actually helped me personally to come out of a lot of anxiety. I dealt with anxiety for a long time, and it has. I'm actually I practice a little bit of yoga every day, and it has actually got me also in control of my anxiety. So, which is actually quite. Yes, you are
Yes.
right when you talk about how
So
absolutely. Yes,
So
I
yeah.
know. I mean, I want people to also understand how yoga is beneficial in so many other ways. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So from here, I want to take you to a lighter note. What are the misconceptions of yoga, and how do you react to those funny misconceptions that come along?
Yeah, when you say misconceptions, I think there are a lot of people who think yoga is very boring. Like I mentioned, yoga does not take your heart rate higher. It is not. You do not feel like you have exercise. A lot of people say, "Oh, yoga, it's so easy." Like I have students personally who told me, like it's a breeze. But when I take them through classes, they're like, "Okay, it is a tough class," and I didn't know that. That I could not do this. So people are always under the misconception that only the most flexible people can do yoga. So, or the really thin people should. No, I feel it's a huge misconception. Whether you're fat, you're thin, if your body is flexible, or if you work towards it, you will definitely be able to achieve in life. So I've heard a lot of people think this way. And also people think that, people at different age groups, like an elderly person cannot do yoga. No, it's not the fact. Anybody can do yoga, because especially because Iyengar always believed in this whole thing, whether you're young, old, or if you have any disability, or if you are physically not fit, you still should be in a position to do yoga. So there are a lot of props that are in place, like the chair, the blocks, the belts, which helps everybody achieve to do yoga in some form or the other. So yeah, so these are the few misconceptions a lot of people have, but yeah, it's not true.
So talking about asanas, I want you to show us a few of these. As a beginner, if you can show a few that we can practice at home as well, so that will help us.
So those who want to practice yoga, I think the basic thing in yoga is to know the Surya Namaskar. So today I'm going to teach you a 10 count Surya Namaskar, which you can incorporate on a daily basis. You can do about, say, 11 cycles or 21 cycles, whatever you're comfortable, depending on your body type, depending on your stamina. For example, you can even take it forward to about 108 eventually, but it's with practice. You don't do 108 cycles at the first go. You practice 11, 21, maybe 54, then 75, and then 108 Surya Namaskars. So the basic Surya Namaskar, which is of a 10 count, helps you to activate every muscle in the body. So let's just start. Holding Namaste near the heart chakra. Inhale, go back. Exhale, come down. Inhale, take the right leg back. Take the next leg back to a Santulanasana, the plank posture. Knee down, chest and the chin, which is Ashtanga Pranam. Slowly push back to a Bhujangasana, the cobra posture. Push the shoulders back. Squeeze your. Take the next leg back to a Santulanasana, the plank posture. Knee down, chest and the chin, which is Ashtanga Pranam. Slowly push back to a Bhujangasana, the cobra posture. Push the shoulders back. Squeeze your glutes. Open the shoulder, let the pressure go to the lower back. Gently pull back to a downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, bring the right foot forward. Next leg, pointing the forehead towards the knee. Namaste, go back. Exhale, come down. Inhale, take the left leg back. Next leg back. Knee down, chest and the chin. Bhujangasana. Pull back to a downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, bring the left leg forward, chin up. Ashwasanchalanasana. Try to bring the other foot forward, point the forehead towards the knee. Namaste, go back. Open out your hands. Namaste. That was 10 cycles, 10 count Surya Namaskar, 1 cycle.
Okay, so coming to my last and final question before I let you go, and thank you so much for inspiring me all along this conversation. Do you have a message for everybody or somebody who wants to start yoga as a practice, and also for somebody who wants to make it a full-time career? Yeah. So, Sneha, I would believe that, you cannot force somebody to learning yoga. Like, somebody is keen on it, it's good, because a lot of people have this mindset that it's slow, it's boring, and
somebody might be looking at a proper cardio form of workout. So it's totally up to each individual. But if somebody is interested and wanting to pursue it, yoga, I would say I just love yoga. I just love practicing yoga, and I feel it gives me a complete workout, and no way makes me feel like, okay, I've whiled away 1 hour of my day. So it gives me a total workout from head to toe. So one thing about yoga is every muscle of your body is worked out, especially Surya Namaskar is part of your everyday routine, be it for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, is what everybody practices. So, in my opinion, it's every muscle of your body is worked out when you do yoga. You're not only working out for your body, at the same time, you're working for your mental health. So, it's a great form of practice. And if somebody wants to take it up as a career, yeah, I would say, like I said, coming from a corporate job, having a good fat package, coming to this line today, I think people understand the importance of physical and mental health. It's not like people compromise on it. So it definitely helps you to earn better. And what I like about my job is you meet so many different individuals, like who are so like you could find professionals, you could find somebody into business. So you're learning from them, you're understanding from them, and you see some of them who really work so hard and still want to, make it for that 1 hour of class. And when I was in my corporate job and I took up yoga, that was one thing I told myself: I want to cater to people who don't have the time to go into a fitness center. That's how I started my personal training practice. So I know there are a lot of people out there who look for individual attention, personal trainers to suit their timings. So I think it's a fabulous career that you can make in yoga. And like I said, most importantly, the best part of the job is you get to meet so many brilliant individuals in your journey. That's the beauty about this job. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's
So,
amazing. Thank you so much for taking out time. I'm so honored to have you on my podcast. So thank you so much. And I hope to come to Bangalore and meet you in person. But well, the pandemic needs to end for a lot of other things as well. And I will see you very soon. Thank you very much.